So how do we pass in data to the component? Well, we do it using props. Here we have a child component and we want to pass in some prop to it. Let's say we call it name. We do it like this, name equals, and then we define the value here, for example, John. And now we hop over to our child component, and here, let's say we type name is, and we're going to call the variable name because that's what we used right here. So as you can see here, name is not defined. That's why we get little squiggles here. So let's do that. Let's define it. But we're going to define it by using the export keyword like this. We're using the export keyword to let Svelte know that this is going to be a prop that can be passed into this component from the outside, from another component. In this case, from the app.svelte component. Now, when we check this in the browser, we can see that this HTML is rendered correctly and that the value John is also shown here. Now let's say we want to pass in more than one property. So for example, we want also age. We can set the value 12 here. Now we want this to render as well. We're gonna define it in the same way as we did the name. And we can use it here in the template. So age is like this. Here we get this as expected. But now, instead of naming the props individually like this, we can also simplify this passing in of these values a bit. So we can also define an object, for example. Let's say that the object is person. And it's going to contain name, John, the same as below, age, 12. And now instead of passing in those properties individually like this, we can actually use the spread operator to unpack these key value pairs. So if we save this now, you see, when I refresh, we get the same thing. All right, what else? So if, for example, we don't pass anything here, so we don't pass any of the properties to the component, but the component still expects them to be here, what we get is undefined instead of the values here. And what we can actually do here to avoid undefined when we don't pass in any props is we can set the default values for them. So for example, I can say here, John and age 18. And now you can see that these default values are being set. All right, that's it as far as the component properties in a nutshell goes. So I hope you like this video and please hit that subscribe and like button and see you in the next video.